I'm about to give you a plan that has helped now a few hundred pharmacists become medical affairs specialists. I'm going to break down everything that you need to know if you're trying to make this transition, if you've never done it before. And if you're asking the question like, well, what is med affairs and what does it encompass? What kind of jobs? We're going to get to it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about what the role is, what some related roles kind of are and how they get confused with med affairs. And most importantly, how you can transition into this field, even if you have zero experience. Let me introduce you to Vincent Notareshi, who made this exact transition.
Is medical information specialist. It's what I was looking for. I'm really happy. I'm satisfied. There is no perfect job, but I'm in a good place. I'm really in a good place.
I'm going to walk you through how Vincent made this and how many other pharmacists have done this same transition. I'm going to break it down into simple, actionable steps. I may give a few advanced tips as we go. So let's jump into it. Okay, so what is medical affairs? This is like the scientific bridge between the pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare providers. I often say it's like the expert translator between companies' research and what doctors and patients need to know when using these medicines or prescribing them. Medical affairs isn't just one specific role. It's actually a whole department with very different but kind of similar career paths. Medical affairs includes roles like MSLs or medical science liaisons who engage with healthcare professionals typically in the field. There's med information specialists who answer complex product questions. There's pharmacovigilance experts who monitor medication safety, kind of like being like a medication detective in the real world. There's a few other roles as well, but Vincent knew that he wanted to be a part of this world. But like many pharmacists, he found it challenging to break in, especially like getting a remote job.
Like most pharmacists hate asking for help. We're supposed to help others. We hate asking for help. And I'm a little introverted, especially with people I don't know.
What's really crucial for breaking into medical affairs, and I cannot emphasize this enough, okay, is your ability to understand and communicate complex clinical information. This is actually some great news for pharmacists because it basically means you already have the foundation to do the job. You spent years developing clinical knowledge and explaining complicated concepts to patients who may not even be able to read, as well as healthcare providers who are on the opposite end of the spectrum, at least I hope. I've never met a doctor who couldn't read. The key is to recognize how your current skills translates to medical affairs positions. So this is where most people really struggle with transitioning into any role. So for example, your ability to research drug information can transfer directly to a med info role, because your experience communicating with physicians is as valuable as it would be for an MSL position, because you'll be doing the same thing, just a different context. Your understanding of adverse effects and drug interactions for a patient could be potentially very, very useful when it comes to pharmacovigilance. When I talk with pharmacists like Vincent, who successfully made this transition, they often say the biggest obstacle wasn't their qualifications, it was recognizing how they were already qualified, but they weren't valuing it. So you have the knowledge, but here's where most pharmacists struggle, and Vincent was there too. Okay, networking can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're introverted, but you're gonna need to do it. Here's what's fascinating about Vincent's situation. He discovered that changing his approach made all of the difference when it came to networking. This is an advanced strategy that I recommend all the time. Very few people take me up on it. But when you're authentic, when you're networking and building relationships, which is the key thing to get job referrals and trust for interviews for something you otherwise wouldn't be trusted to do, you cut through the noise of the networking nonsense that is LinkedIn. When you're genuine about your interest, you communicate in a powerful way, your personality and people respond. While networking is absolutely essential, the quality of your connections matters far more than the quantity. And one of the biggest mistakes I see pharmacists make is trying to break into medical affairs, is being too scattered with their approach. They apply to anything and everything, and they reach out to everyone, and they end up connecting that don't lead to really anything anywhere meaningful. And Vincent shared his frustrations firsthand.
They all ended without an interview. They all ended without any sort of progression past a certain point. So that was kind of like my ceiling, or kind of the wall I needed to break through.
The solution isn't to contact more people. It's to be more strategic about who you contact and how you approach them. For medical affairs specifically, you want to focus on connecting in people in roles you're actually interested in. Research their background. Be specific when you reach out and ask a thoughtful, small-ended question to show that you've done your homework. Follow up in a meaningful and not just like a generic kind of check-in kind of way if they don't respond. One big problem with choosing medical affairs is that people, they kind of want to pick everything. They don't want to box themselves in. But the thing is that when you focus on like one career path, you immediately make more progression. You only have so much energy. And if you try going in every which way to any different kind of career path, then you're probably only going to get so far. This is even true when like you're networking. But if you pick one path, one thing, if you get essential about one idea, you all of a sudden get way more momentum in that direction. I mean, imagine trying to be a pro at the gym when you've never walked in it before and you want to lift every kind of weight. You're going to stink at all of it. But if you were to double down on running or the Stairmaster or benching, you better believe you're going to make a whole lot more progress in that area. In the same way, choose one path, one thing to become an expert in until you either rule it out or in as your career path. Okay, so once you focus on your approach, consider how you're communicating. And this may be a surprise to you, but it's unfortunately most people's realities, and it's one that I often have to correct as their coach, especially when it comes to networking and interview skills for medical affairs positions. Many pharmacists think that they need to demonstrate the full breadth of their knowledge in every single interaction. They write long, detailed messages or give lengthy interview answers, and this works against you. In medical affairs, your ability to communicate complex information clearly and concisely is essential. By focusing on the quality over quantity in Vincent's communications, he demonstrated exactly the skills medical affairs teams were looking for. All of these strategies are helpful, but there's one thing that can significantly accelerate your transition, and that's getting expert guidance. You don't have to figure all of this out on your own. Vincent tried going alone for a long time. Even with his residency background, he still was not getting the success he wanted, a remote medical affairs job. But things changed when he got specialized guidance. This is exactly why I created the Happy PharmD. I saw so many pharmacists, brilliant, caring, amazing people, struggling to make career transitions. Not because they lacked the ability, but because they lacked guidance and accountability on doing things different. The right coaching can help you identify what medical affair roles best match your specific skills, your strengths, and your interests. A coach can help you craft a resume that actually gets noticed by industry recruiters and hiring managers, or develop networking strategies tailored to your personality or your time constraints, and prepare you for industry-specific interviews. Okay, Vincent's success came when he combined his determination with the right guidance. I know that some people are watching this and thinking, okay, I'm not sure if I'm qualified for medical affairs. And that's exactly why I created a free quiz called What Jobs Am I Qualified For? It's helped now a few thousand pharmacists discover which industries and roles best match their qualifications and their strengths. Just click the link below in the description. It'll take you a few minutes to answer the questions, and you'll get a personalized report sent to you via email showing you exactly what doors are already open for you. Remember what Vincent said about making this transition. The journey into medical affairs isn't always straightforward. but it's absolutely achievable for pharmacists who are willing to put in the effort. I've seen countless professionals make this transition successfully. It's fun to say. And the rewards that they're experiencing are tremendous. Fulfilling work, better work-life balance. Heck, Vincent now is able to be home with his young family, something that traditional roles would have never given him. Whether you're just starting to explore this career path or you've been looking at it for a while, take the next step. Reach out to someone in the field, refine your resume, work with a professional coach who knows how to make the transition. Why wait? Okay, your future in medical affairs is starting with a single action. And that's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, there's a like button and it's below. And it tells me you liked it. And we'll make more of these kinds of videos. And subscribe so that you never miss another one about pharmacy careers, because we make that content all the time. If you didn't like it, let us know what we can do differently so we can address it in a new video. And if you have any questions about medical affairs, well, there's a comment section below and I'd love to help you out. So until I see you in the next video, stay curious and take care.